This is an introduction video for the woodland restoration work that we're trying to conduct on the Picture Creek Diabase Barren in Granville County. So I'm starting off this video series with a nice scenic picture of a power line right-of-way, a nice linear disturbance through the landscape. And while that might seem a little weird, there's a reason I want to start here, because this power line right-of-way actually it triggered a number of events that led to us having this opportunity to work towards woodland restoration on this site. So this piece of property, this is part of a big 6,000 acre unit managed by the State Department of Agriculture. And about 20 years ago, there was some interest in building, let's call it an industrial complex in this part of the state. And this big chunk of property of forest land was looked at to host that development project. Well, one of the things that was involved in that process was getting utility infrastructure to that potential industrial project. And this power line right-of-way was part of that. So in putting in this power line right-of-way, which again, it's just a big linear disturbance, they cut all the trees out of it, this all used to be forested, did a lot of bulldozing work to grade it out. But after a couple of years, the state's Natural Heritage Program discovered that there were a lot of rare, threatened, and endangered species growing on this site. The soils are pretty unique, diabase sills. Major soil types up here would be the Iredell series, as well as a really rare one called Picture series. And they ended up hosting not only rare, threatened, and endangered species, but prairie associate species. So the big one, and I'll redo this video in June when you can actually see the flower, but the big one is smooth coneflower. We actually have the largest population of smooth coneflower in the United States on this property. So it's a big accomplishment, but honestly a lot of it came about from this power line right away. So once the rare, threatened, and endangered species were noticed out here, there were efforts put in place by the state to go ahead and put some formal protections on this site. So it was listed as a significant natural heritage area and is now being managed through a collaborative effort or a cooperative effort with the State Department of Ag Research Stations Division. So that's who I'm with. And we're the primary manager of the site. And we manage right alongside the North Carolina Department of Ag and Consumer Services Plant Conservation Program within their Plant Industries Division, as well as the State Natural Heritage Program and the Museum of Natural Sciences. So there's a bunch of us that work together to protect and manage this site. So with that, that's the main background on this site as to what we're looking at, and I'll stop the video and focus on something else just to keep the size of these a little bit more manageable.